Yes. Thank you, Mayor McDonald. So Oksana Buck will be presenting the staff report this evening.
Good evening, council members and Mayor McDonald. On May 11th, the City Council adopted the city's action plan. It identifies organizations to be funded with a CDBG allocation from HUD. As a result of the public testimony received at the adoption hearing, City Council did not allocate any funding to Habitat for Humanity. Instead, the City Council allocated funds to other organizations and directed staff to come back at a later date for consideration of reinstating funds to Habitat of Humanity. Since the action plan adoption, the Habitat for Humanity obtained a contractor's license from the State Licensing Board. And now that the license has been issued, Habitat for Humanity is requesting a City Council to consider reinstating their funding. The amount requested is $70,000 to be used for home repairs of 7 low-income households. So that would come out to approximately $10,000 per home. Staff recommends that City Council approve the action plan amendment to reinstate funding and direct staff to submit the action plan to HUD. And this concludes my report. Staff is available to answer any questions.
Any questions? I have a quick one just for clarification. This can only be used within the city of Camarillo, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Trimley.
Yeah, I do have a question, actually. Thank you, Madam Mayor. With respect to the 2016-17 action plan and the amendments to that, and it's the December 14, dated today, Second Amendment on page 21 on the improvement quality of housing, I see that there is a proposed commitment to maintain at least 51% of the units affordable to low and moderate income households. I suppose I know why it would be 51%, but perhaps you could explain that, just so I've got a good handle on it. It's at the top.
What page were you on?
That's one of the national objectives. HUD has 3 national objectives that we have to meet when we use CDBG funds. So if we were, for example, to rehab an apartment building, at least 51% of the residents in that building would have to be low income. So the funds that are used have to benefit, majority of the people have to be low income that benefit from it.
Okay, so that 51% figure is consistent with HUD regulations?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, this is a public hearing, so I will open the public hearing. I do not have any speaker sheets, so here's one. Well, I've got more than one. Well, Terry, if you want to come up, since you're closest there, and I should have caught you while you were still on your feet, and if you want to just give your name for the record, I appreciate it. Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, I was just giving time for distribution because I made a copy for each person. Each person on the council and then some.
All right, I think we're ready.
Okay, rock and roll. Terry Bray, 63 Via Centra, Camarillo, California. I'm here in opposition for reinstating funding to Habitat for Humanity of Ventura County. In May of last year, the City Council voted deferral of refinancing in the amount of $91,000. After it was brought to your attention, they did not qualify to receive it. State licensing is required as an act to act as a general contractor and is required by HUD. Habitat never had been licensed in the 34 years of performing construction and renovation work throughout Ventura County. Per HUD requirements, all state and local laws must be adhered to. To date, the City of Camarillo has financed Habitat for Humanity of Ventura County nearly $500,000 while they had no licensing by the state. This rogue chapter of Habitat for Humanity International should refund the money to the City of Camarillo, and refinancing should stop. My home was damaged by Habitat of Ventura County, and so was a senior citizen's home, by non-code compliant work done by the same unlicensed subcontractor provided by Habitat. It is currently unknown how many people throughout Ventura County are living in homes built or renovated by Habitat of Ventura County that are not building code compliant, uninspected by the city or the state and lack the required building permits. When a business does construction without having a state contractor's license, they can't obtain building permits. Therefore, inspections don't happen. Potentially, thousands of people's lives could be in danger, and/or their homeowner's insurance is worthless. The agency that issues the permits and inspects construction of mobile homes in California is HCD, Housing and Community Development. I have found no evidence that the City of Camarillo arranged any inspections by HCD to inspect the work done on several homes in the Casa del Norte Mobile Home Park. The City of Camarillo paid Habitat for Humanity of Ventura County $120,000 for the work, yet those senior citizens are now possibly living in unsafe conditions, and now the City of Camarillo wants to give Habitat more money. After operating for 34 years without a license, Habitat for Humanity of Ventura County finally obtained a state contractor's license this last September, but only after being investigated by the California State Licensing Board and the Ventura County District Attorney's Office, whom both demanded that Habitat comply with the law. If the City of Camarillo refinances Habitat for Humanity of Ventura County now or in the future, it would set a precedent that you can do business in Camarillo for years while not abiding to state and local laws and get rewarded to do so. Any questions for me?
You had 18 seconds left there. Thank you, Terry. Any questions? Thank you.
And Mr. Tremblay, welcome aboard.
The next person is, I think it's Linda Lopez. You have such pretty handwriting, I can't read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would have texted you if I could. My name is Linda Lopez. I live in Casa del Norte in Camarillo. I'm here with my neighbor and a friend who also was a recipient of Habitat for Humanity services last year. We can only applaud them. They inspected several items as they went through my home and did several things. Their volunteers or staff were always professional. There were never any issues with danger to any of us in the homes, and I've spoken to all 17 residents who have had work done in their homes. What they do through our county and community is to be applauded. I was blessed to receive their services last year, which made my home a safer, warmer, and more inviting place to live. Habitat provides a precious commodity for our community, should be given every opportunity to continue their gracious living work. I feel very sad for people who are missing out on receiving these assistance that we've been cut off in our mobile home park because of what has happened here. Please reinstate their funds. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Okay, our last speaker sheet, Steve Dwyer.
Thank you. My name is Steve Dwyer. I'm a resident of Thousand Oaks, but I'm here speaking as the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity tonight. Before I start, I would like to say, although I'm not a resident of Camarillo, you have the most beautiful Christmas lights out in your park as I drove up here this evening. But I'd like to give a little recap. Since our inception of what we refer to as our Preserve a Home program, which provides critical home updates and repairs to low-income residents, we have now served 92 families throughout the county, 35 of which have been here in the city of Camarillo, about 38% of the total, which far outstrips the percentage of population here in Camarillo relative to the county. And that's a testament to your willingness to fund this program and allow us to serve residents who are low income. Our typical recipient is over the age of 70, living on less than $25,000 a year, and is a live-in resident of their own home and wishes to stay in that home. We serve largely the aging population, veterans, and disabled, and our focus areas are to support them in areas of their home which deal with mobility, home safety, and energy efficiency. Our typical scope includes things like the installation of a ramp for mobility in and out of a home, grab bars in a bathroom, electrical and roofing repairs, replacement of older windows with dual pane windows, which not only make the home energy efficient, but for those who live near the fields, we've received comments make the air inside the home much more healthy for them to live in their home environment. In May of this year, there were questions raised about Habitat's ability to serve the population with this program. I don't think it's appropriate to get into some of the details of what was raised, but what was clear is we worked very closely with the Contractor State License Board, was that they also applauded our work. In fact, they significantly expedited our application process so we could be here as quickly as we are here in September. Instead of what was typically an 8 to 10 month process, we achieved a license within 3 months. And so we are looking forward very much to continuing to serve the residents of Camarillo. To our knowledge, Habitat remains the only agency in the County of Ventura which is working to serve the low-income population of homeowners with these types of critical needs in their home. So thank you for your support, and I certainly am willing to answer any questions you might have.
I have a question.
Any questions?
I have a question.
Mr. Kildee.
Yeah, as long as you're here.
Yeah.
Is it your intention to keep up your state licensing that you received?
Absolutely. In fact, we had been talking about this for years. One clarification I would make that, some comments are made. The License Board made it clear that we have been building homes in the county for over 2 decades very appropriately. I'd welcome you to come out to Santa Paula, and I'll show you every permit and license that we have and inspection card that we have for our homes. We've operated as an owner-builder, and our discussions with them, it was really as we worked to serve this community need of the homeowner needing critical repairs as opposed to building new homes, that they identified we had moved into a different area. And so frankly, like a lot of business who search to serve a need, we have a course correction here. We've achieved the license, and we're ready to move forward. In fact, we're already serving residents using a CDBG contract with the County of Ventura, and the first license is valid for 2 years, and we will certainly be renewing that as the years go by.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Those are all the speaker sheets I have on this item. Would anyone else like to address the council? I see no one come forward. I will close the public hearing. Any comments from staff? Comments from council?
I have a question for staff, if I may.
Mr. Kildee.
Yes, my understanding it's 7 homes here and $10,000. So typically, we're not talking about major remodels. It would be sort of what he said, maybe ramps or windows.
Correct.
Things of that nature. Am I right on that?
Yes, that's correct.
And are they spelled out in the homes, or do they go in with this amount of money and they do an analysis and find out what kind of is the most important?
These are approximations, so if, for instance, he does a couple homes and it only requires some ramps and maybe a couple window retrofits, that may only be $6,000, and then it may have some leftover money that would accommodate an 8th or a 9th resident. So it's somewhat flexible. It's an approximation. And we work together very well with Habitat for Humanity to collaborate, trying to ensure that the budget amount is sufficient to meet their needs, as well as take advantage of the funding source with the block grant funds to help those that are in a position that they don't necessarily have the means to help themselves.
So it's not to exceed $10,000 per home then, am I right?
It's not to exceed $70,000. So one home may be $11,000, for instance.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move to adopt a resolution approving the FY 2016-17 Action Plan Second Amendment, direct staff to submit the document to HUD for review, and appropriate $70,000 for the Habitat for Humanity's Preserve a Home program.
A motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second, Your Honor, but comment too. Until this recent incident happened at the mobile home park out here, Lamplighter, we never really got complaints about this group. Never.
Lots
And now
of
you hear some
applause.
people tonight that come in and said they've checked with all 17 of them, Del Norte, and all been pleased. If you're going to get a contractor, sometimes they make mistakes. And you have to contact the Contractors Association and so on. So there's times when everyone makes mistakes. But I think they've had a history of being a very, achieving good group for this community at the entire Ventura County. So I applaud you.
Any other comments? If not, please vote. And that does pass unanimously. Thank you very much.